Now a few special points. First, the jamming of the machine. When the drive knob hasn't been turned completely, the indicating disc won't move. Complete the turn, and the disc is free. Next, in resetting the letter counter, be sure the reset knob snaps firmly into place so that all the zeros are exactly in line. Otherwise, jamming occurs. The machine will also jam if a pin or lug is partly out of position. Then the converter must be checked thoroughly until the faulty adjustment is found and corrected. To put in a new roll of tape, release the cover and tilt it back. Then release the guard and pull it forward. Place the roll so that it will unwind counterclockwise. Thread the tape through the tape slot. And feed the end through the tape channel under the roller. Several turns of the feed knob will bring the tape into position. To replace the ink pad, push the spring arm to one side and remove the pad with the tweezers. Be sure not to open the fresh ink pad container over the converter. The ink may spill or the pad itself may fall into the mechanism. Push the spring arm to the side and slip the new pad in position. Both ends of the ink pad can be used, so when one end becomes dry, the pad is simply reset in the reverse position. About every 250 operating hours, the converter must be oiled. Again, don't open the oil container over the converter. An excess of oil may gum up the works. To clean the type wheel, use type cleaner with a brush, turning the disc until all the dirt is removed. Some models of the M-209 have plastic parts which should never be cleaned with chemicals. For example, this wheel. Use only a dry brush for cleaning such models. This reproducing disc shows exactly the same letter as that which appears on the tape each time a letter is enciphered. Should an operator run out of ink or tape, he can still cryptograph a message by recording the letters off this disc. Finally, if you're in immediate danger of capture, burn the signal operation instructions page by page. Then set all the pins to the left and all the lugs to 0. When this is done, destroy the machine with an axe or any other handy object. Rifle fire or a grenade will also do an effective job of destruction. Now let's have a quick review of the whole procedure of enciphering and deciphering. Assume the pins and lugs are set and checked according to the chart. The encipher-decipher knob is at C. The letter counter at 0. Set up your external message indicator. 6 letters selected at random that don't spell an actual word. And record them. Next, choose any letter, record it, then encipher it 12 times. Select the internal message indicator from these 12 letters. Then encipher the message. Remember that phonetic names are used for single letters, that numbers must be spelled out, and that the letter Z must be enciphered between words for spacing. When necessary, add X's to complete the last 5-letter group. Now, in the same order, before and after the text, write the system indicator, the external message indicator, and the key list indicator. Finally, transfer the message to a form and complete it. When you decipher a message, you begin by following the identical procedure used when enciphering. The repeated letter informs you the message was enciphered by an M-209. And the key list indicator tells you what pin and lug setting has been used. In this case, it's the one already on the machine, so you're ready to begin. First, set the counter to 0. Next, look for the external message indicator and set the key wheels in accordance with it. With the encipher-decipher knob at C, encipher the repeated letter 12 times. After this is completed, set the counter to 0 again. Select the internal message indicator from the 12 letters. Turn the encipher-decipher knob to D and decipher each of the letters in the cryptogram, including any X's at the tail end. Roll out sufficient tape before tearing so as not to lose any of the message. Z deciphers as a blank space, so fill it in where necessary. Transfer the deciphered message to a message blank. Dress it and then forward. And finally, break up the internal message indicator after each message is cryptographed. And destroy all work copies of the code tape. Converters are used under various conditions. At higher headquarters, in foxholes, in the open. Some of the conditions don't include tables or shelves. At such times, the operator can attach the converter to his leg by means of the carrying strap and have both hands free to operate it. When not in use, the converter is always kept in its canvas case to protect it from dirt and dampness. The converter is a valuable piece of equipment, but it's still equipment. In order to perform its job of confusing and delaying the enemy, it has to be carefully protected and properly operated. That's up to you.